thank you everybody. So hopefully you've got the agenda. If you have not been getting the agenda and related materials, let me or Karen know so that we can get you added to the email blast. So as folks at the table change, we have the best intentions of getting you on, but sometimes we forget. And so just let us know if you haven't gotten that information. If you're a primary or you're an alternate.
And just to clarify too, this is a separate list. So this is really important that Karen does this correctly. So if you sign up on the website, those are separate lists. It's a difficult way to parse out signing up on the website.
And if everyone's sitting around the table right now, Maria A. Alejo and Ryan and Kevin are the only three who are not on my list. So if you are not getting them, check your spam filter, your junk mail, send me an email so that we have a relationship electronically, because everybody else except those three are on the list. That means there's a problem.
Okay. So I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:33 and would ask for a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve? Or to amend? Is there a motion to approve or to amend the agenda?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Carl makes the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, and Scott seconds that. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? All right, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. So this is the opportunity for folks to comment on an item that is not on the agenda. If it's a club-related event, there is time at the end for a club update, so I might ask that you hold that. But if you have anything else, or if any member of the public or anyone else here has something they want to bring to the attention of the Central Committee, this is the time to do it. James?
I'm not going to be at the next meeting, so somebody needs to volunteer to take the minutes next month.
Okay, so is there somebody willing to take minutes next month? Don't jump at once. It'll be a month from today. Here. Oh, Aaron? Okay. Thank you. So Aaron
Thank you
will-
very much.
And then I would like to introduce Omar. Omar is our District 7 Regional Director. So he coordinates all of the central committees in Monterey, San Benito, southern part of Santa Clara, and Santa Cruz counties. And I'd like you to give a Monterey welcome to Omar Perez.
Thank you very much. First, I actually like to apologize for not attending your Central Committee meetings at all. So I serve on the local school board in East San Jose, and my school board meets the same day that you guys meet. So I don't make it out to your guys' Central Committee, unfortunately. However, like Alan did mention, I do attend Santa Clara counties and San Benito's and Santa Cruz counties every month. But I also want to let you guys know that I do try to attend events here in Monterey whenever I can. So I think Alan and a few other folks will attest that I'm a very open and accessible regional director. If I can't make an event, I tell you guys. If I could make an event, I will also let you guys know that I will be coming. But I see that there's a few events coming up. The gala is already on my calendar. Sunday, August 13th, I bought tickets to Lady Gaga. They cost me a lot of money. I'm going to try to come here and then make it to Lady Gaga concert.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah. So, but either way, thank you very much for one, allowing me to be here. But also, I want to thank the Monterey County Democrats for not only hosting us this past Saturday for our Region 7 meeting. Again, I believe it's important that our regional meetings are held throughout Region 7. And my very first Region 7 meeting was 2 years ago, and it was here in this building. And now, this past Saturday, we had our last Region 7 meeting. And when I first ran, I promised to have a meeting every 3 months, except during election season, because we shouldn't be preaching to the choir. We should be registering voters and recruiting voters to come out and vote for our local Democratic candidates, from dog catcher to President of the United States of America. So the only time that Region 7 does not meet is during the election cycle. So that's March through June, and September through November. So I've had Region 7 meetings every 3 months when we don't have an election, and we've had gubernatorial candidates come to our meeting. We've had candidates for chair come to our meeting. This past weekend, as you know, we had Jaraka Larimore Hall, who was the vice chairman of the California Democratic Party. And what's very important is that he took questions first. As you guys know, we had a very chaotic, contentious chairs race that is still not settled, and that is still hasn't been settled, and that I hope is settled. Point of information, I did endorse Kimberly Alice for chair, so just throwing it out there. But I endorsed her for chair because I thought she was the strongest candidate, and I thought she was the best candidate that's going to take us back into fighting for our Democratic Party values. Because I have a 20-year-old brother, and this 20-year-old brother has gone to political events with me, and he still cannot tell what the difference between a Democrat and a Republican is. And he's 20 years old. And he needs to know what the difference is. We're Democrats that are going to fight for progressive values. We're Democrats that are going to fight for our union brothers and sisters. We're Democrats that are going to fight for the young. We're Democrats that are going to fight for our women, for our Muslims, for you name it, for our gays and the lesbian community. You name it. If my 20-year-old brother cannot tell the difference, how can an average 20-something-year-old voter tell the difference between a Democrat and a Republican? And that's what we're going to be doing the next 2 years. I heard a lot of Democrats loud and clear on Saturday that we have no message. When we're out there, we don't know what to tell this, not my brother, but other 20-year-old Democrats or future Democrats who don't really know who we are. Because we just can't be, well, we're better than that guy. And unfortunately, that's what Hillary Clinton did. I'm better than this guy, vote for me. But she didn't really spell out and say what she really wanted to do moving forward. And the election is over. Trump is our president. Now it's time to reset the button and make sure that our Democrats are coming out to vote, make sure that our Democratic clubs have all the tools and all the resources they need to recruit new Democratic Party activists. And like I said, as regional director, I've done numerous things, including adding to the agenda and adding to our meetings reports from our Labor Council here in our region. So in Region 7, we have the Monterey, thank God Glenn Schaller's not here, Monterey Bay Central Labor Council. And in San Jose and San Benito, we have the South Bay and San Benito Labor Council. And so I've added them on the agenda. What I've also, this month, I also added reports from our e-board members. As you know, every central committee gets an e-board via ADAM or central committee. And I think it's important to know what our e-board members are doing. Because e-board, unlike State Central, we meet twice a year compared to convention when we only meet once a year. And so a lot of folks don't know that a lot of the work that the California Democratic Party does is actually at e-board, right? And at e-board, only 300 Democrats get to define the millions of other registered Democrats that are registered in California. I think that's not. I think that process should be a little bit better because there's only 300 people in a room, And you know meetings, right? On a Sunday, on the last day of E-Board, out of those 300, only what, 155 people are there, right? Making decisions for us, for the rest of California. And so I think it's important to know what our E-Board members are doing. And so I've added that on the agenda. As you guys can, I'm sure everybody gets my emails, right? Does everybody get my
If you
emails?
don't get, should we get the emails?
Okay.
Let me know and I'll add you to the list.
Yes. So Peter Ortiz is technically speaking like the assistant regional director. So if you're all the emails that get sent out, I write them and he puts them in some weird little MailChimp that every single time we meet, I'm like, I still don't know how to do it, Peter. Just do it because I don't know. I just check email on Facebook and that's it. You know?
But if
Don't
you're a
everybody
primary or an alternate
Yeah.
to this committee, let Peter know before
Yeah.
they go, or you can let Karen or I know and we'll pass it on
Yes.
to Omar and Peter.
Yeah, so I do send out a monthly e-newsletter with events that are going on, our next meeting. And I will tell you, so for example, let's say the date, October 7th. Saturday, October 7th is the next Region 7 meeting. And Region 7 meetings are open to everybody. I have gotten questions via email and text whether it's only delegates. Delegates at these meetings get to vote. However, meetings for Region 7 are open to everybody, just like every Democratic Party meeting. They're open to everybody. So if you want to come to our next Region 7 meeting, it's going to be on Saturday, October 7th. I like to say I know the date because the week after is my birthday.
Yay.
And I'm going to Las Vegas to see Britney Spears. I know.
Whatever next.
Yeah, Lady Gaga and Britney in 1 year. That's awesome. And so that it's going to be October 7th. And as of right now, I am working with the Villagrosa campaign to have Antonio come and be the guest speaker for our next Region 7. It's going to be in Santa Cruz. So more likely it's going to be the Santa Cruz County Democratic Central Committee. And so it's October 7th, 10:30 in the morning. Hopefully Antonio Villagrosa comes. Hopefully you guys will come. Also, if you think that we're missing something on the agenda in Region 7, shoot me or Peter an email. My email is really easy. I'm not going to give you the Region 7 one because I don't want it to get lost in transition. Mine's simple and easy. Omar Torres 2014@gmail.com. So Omar Torres with an S. 2014@gmail.com. If you want to be added to our mailing list, the reason why I say if you get my emails, I get the list from the California Democratic Party of all the delegates in Monterey County. And so if you're in this room and you're just a club rep or you're involved with your club, I don't have you on my email list. And so that's why it's important to email me or email Peter, and we'll get you on the list. So I hope that they're informative. I get emails saying that they are. Again, I'm here. I try to be here. Again, I'm very sorry that I can't be here, but I'm serving my community in East San Jose, serving on the local school board, but I try to make it as much as I can down here. I appreciate all of you guys meeting in this room and continuing to fight for our democratic ideals. I know right now we're at a crossroad. I know that's important. And like I like to tell folks, it doesn't matter if you voted or supported for Bernie Sanders for president, or held Jim Webb, or held Hillary Clinton. The reset button is now set. Donald Trump is our president, and we have to work together in unison to defeat Donald Trump and his ugly Republican machine. Because as you guys know, from now until 2008, this is going to be close. Mike Pence is the vice president who's going to be casting a lot of tie-breaking votes from now until 2018. And so now we need to get a Democratic Senate back, and we need to get our House back to make sure that our values continue to move forward. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. We were stuck in traffic for an hour and a half coming down to Monterey, so I did ask Alan if I can go at the beginning of your meeting, because I will be leaving in a little bit. I will stick around, but again, Omar Torres 2014@gmail.com. My cell phone number, I'll give you guys my cell phone number, I forgot that. My cell phone number is 408-750-6773. I will tell you, I'm in bed by 11, but I'm up by 5 to go to the gym. So even if you need to call me at 6 o'clock in the morning, you go ahead and call me at 6 o'clock in the morning. But
David?
not at 10 or 11.
David, one more question.
Yeah, 408-750-6773. 408-750-6773, or you could also email me. Okay? And if you don't really need to speak to me and you just want to send me a text and say, hey, when is the next meeting? I'll reply a text to you. So I'm almost millennial, so I still don't know how to text. So, any questions? I will be leaving in a little bit, so if you have any dying questions, you can ask them, and I'll try to answer. If you don't have any questions, I'll let you guys meet, and I'll be right here in the back for a little bit.
That was really thorough.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Omar and Peter. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your work down there. And it was a really informative and I thought engaging Region 7 meeting that you hosted. So, okay, yeah, Karen.
All right, so I am Terry Short. I see a lot of new faces in the room, so I will give you a real quick resume. I have been proud to represent District 2 for many years now. I was a co-president of Seaside for many years, vice chair of this committee, ventures chair, endorsement chair, and I've raised a lot of money for the credit card over the last 10 years. I ran a lot of campaigns. I've done a lot of networking. We worked really hard on ACA in 2009 for our proudest achievements. And some of you know that when I first came to the party, it was during a very difficult time in my life. My marriage was breaking up. I pretty much lost every friend. And the Democratic Party came. People welcomed me and gave me stuff to do. I volunteered. It cost me a lot of money to volunteer in those early years. Probably about $20,000. Because we were doing everything, but it really, in many ways, saved my life. And I'm always going to be forever grateful that part of this year for me that they welcomed me. Some of you, Elena, Holly, Carl, Ron, Scott, Regina, Adam, listening to what people, Rich. You know, you guys were here back in those days, and it was tough. You know, you guys were facing some of what we faced back then. And we got it all together, we united, we backed down the hatches, and we got work done. A lot of you know that I've been fighting the bank for my house for a very, very long time, and I'm proud to say that as a Democrat, I beat the bank. It was a hard years fighting them for foreclosure and everything else. When my husband walked away after his last tour and left me with the kids, I graduated. 2 kids from college. I've got one graduating from college next year, one going to graduate from high school. So I've done a lot, and I have a lot to be proud of. And I was able to hang on to that house and finally sell it. So I no longer reside in District 2, and this will be my last meeting as I'm going to resign because I sat on this committee while people came and didn't live in the districts that they were elected to represent. And I always fought for rules on this committee and to do the right thing, for me to stay on the committee. I'm still registered to vote over there, but I just don't feel like it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to step down and resign. I wanted to thank all of you guys for your support over the years. It's meant so much. Because of all the campaign work I got paid for the last few years, I saved all that money. I was able to buy a new house in East Garrison. I just started a brand new job too, so things are really wonderful. Nothing's perfect, things are wonderful. And I now live in 4, so I'm not going away. I will still be involved in causes and things and one-issue type of situations, and maybe still get involved in some campaigns. So I'm still going to be an activist. I'm still going to be involved in things. I'm still working as a fair director, but in our community. But it's just I don't need to be on the central committee to do those things. And so you'll still see me out there trying to do education and voter registration and talking to people about our values because we really, really have to dig in right to 2018 and 2020. It's going to be tough. And honestly, I read the numbers. We've been doing so many campaigns for so long, and I'm not even sure we're going to be able to pull it off. So it scares me that people really are going to get behind this machine of bigotry and hatred and not caring about others, and I'm working with the homeless project right now, and it's heartbreaking. People just don't want to care about each other anymore. So I'm going to be very involved in community issues and community things. I'm just stepping down all my leadership position because the right thing to do is I need. So thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it.
I just want to thank you for all of your years of service, and we obviously look forward to working with you in whatever way that we can for. So appreciate it.
We love you, Terry.
We're last year, second to elected Omar, that's fun.
Adam, quick announcement. Working America, which is the political wing of the AFL-CIO, is doing a project where they are training campaign workers to go into Congressional District 10, that's Jeff Denham's district, and go do a different kind of campaigning. Back after Prop 8 was passed and gay marriage was outlawed in California, this group went and had really in-depth, Solinsky organizing style conversations with people, and they found that the reason why most people voted for Prop 8 was because they didn't know any gay people. And so they had people have conversations, and people said, well, now I know a gay person, and I want you to get married. They were able to change people's opinions. So we're going to try to do the exact same thing in Congressional District 10. Find out what people's issues are, have really in-depth organizing conversations with them. And Working America, with an organizer, a very old school organizer, Ken Price, is leading this charge. There's a training at my office in Salinas, it's the SEIU Local 521 office on August 20th. And what we're hoping is that folks will be interested in coming out, going through the training, learning some new organizing skills, and committing to go out to Modesto or one of those other towns a couple times between now and the next election, so that we can unseat Jeff Denham and try to take 7 of those 15 Republican-held congressional seats in California. So I'm going to pass this around. If you are interested, just put your name and an email address, something that I could read, and that'll put you on the list. Not like get 50 emails a week list, but a list just to keep you updated on when and where to show up for the training, and maybe give you a little bit of written material beforehand. So I'm going to pass that around.
You said when it was again?
Could you write it, just write it on the clipboard?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Actually,
August 20th, SEIU Home, Salinas.
So,
Time.
We have a handout for later.
All right.
Okay.
so can I just ask a quick question,
Yes.
or two actually? One, are you gonna work with some of these other groups that have popped up, like Swing Left, who have the same goal? And second question is, are you going to endorse one of the Dems before the primary, or are you waiting to endorse whoever gets
Okay,
elected
so
in the primary?
I'm just going to ask that we hold questions because this is just public comment, but if you two want to connect later,
Okay.
no problem. Any other public comment?
Quick
Yes.
announcement, I'll probably send an email to Karen later on, but the City of Marina is having their annual Labor Day Festival and Parade on September 2nd, Saturday, September 2nd. And so if anyone's interested, we'd like the Democrats to walk in our parade and possibly do a registration group. So something to consider.
Great.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yeah, Scott.
Real quick, we just finished for any club, if you have a federal account, your reporting is due on July 31st, and FEC does not do late.
Federal was due July 15th.
Not by mine, well, okay, so if you
Get them done. Get them done.
have a federal account,
We're late.
no, we're done. If you have a federal account, it's due.
Okay, thank you for that reminder. Any other public comment on non-agenda items?
Steve, did you want to say anything, or did you just come to hang with us?
What the heck? I've been bugging the Salinas City Council and Monterey supervisors for a couple of years now about having a Make a Difference weekend every month. We have a National Make a Difference Day when everybody's supposed to try to help somebody, and I think we could do that more often. We'd have less crime and less need for more police and more sheriffs, which we can't find.
Okay, good idea. Make a Difference Day in Monterey County specific every month, did you say?
they say weekend, do something nice this weekend.
To lower crime and increase. Good, thank you for that.
Okay, any other yeah.
Did anyone say anything about the assault on the Boy Scouts done by our so-called president?
No?
It's not funny, I'm an Eagle Scout, my son's an Eagle Scout, my father was very active in the Boy Scouts in the 60s. Lot of Eagle Scouts here.
We need 3
Can
Eagle
we call on
Scouts.
the Boy Scouts of America to make some statement about this asshole?
Yeah.
The fact that he would use the platform of the President of the United States to give such naked, inappropriate, like he really assaulted our children. He had their 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds. He sat there and just did a political thing about people he considers are his enemies. That's really inappropriate. He is assaulting our children. I'm also a licensed marriage family therapist. I'm supposed to report when I see someone assaulting children. I consider what he did was an assault on children. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if any of the people in this room know what to do about it. But I consider that's something that if a normal person without a political platform did with children in a school, they'd call the police on them, have them come in and at least question the guy and see who's doing it anyway. If anyone has any suggestions what to do next, I'd like some
So
suggestions.
thank you. And if you haven't signed in, if you're a guest, make sure you, so that way we'll know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
But our executive board will take that into consideration, and we will consider that issue, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any other non-agenda item, public comments? If not, there's something that is not on the agenda, which is introductions. We have a lot of people who are getting to know each other, even though it might take a few minutes. I think I would like to take the time to have people just go around, state your name, and if you're, if you're a member of the committee, in what capacity are you a member of the committee? If you're a guest or you're a member of a club or whatever, and you'd like to share that, just be really brief and be clear. And we'll just start back here with this gentleman, and we'll kind of go around.
What?
And the town you're from.
Hi, my name's Ted White, and I'm from Soledad. I haven't been involved in with the Democratic Party too much. I was a union steward for SEIU. I was a teacher out of prison. I've been involved in the union I worked for Santa Cruz County, and I was involved in the union there. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Peter Ortiz, I'm from San Jose, California. Assembly delegate to the party for AD 27, and I work with Omar in Region 7. Thank you.
Hello, Region 7 Director Omar Perez, and I'm from San Jose, California.
Hi, I'm Kayla, I'm City Councilwoman for Seaside, and I'm Alicia.
Hi, I'm Tyler Williamson. I'm the executive board member for the Assembly District.
Hey guys, I'm Lynn Mathis. I'm Aaron's alternate, and I don't know or anything, but I hope to win. So, watch out for me.
I'll go. I'm Karen Araujo. I represent Supervisorial District 4. I serve as vice chair, and that's it. I live in Salinas.
Jan Block, District 5, and State Executive.
District 5 Issues Chair. I'm Rich Fox, I'm the alternate for Assembly Member Morristown.
I'm Erin Fowler, I'm from Carmel Valley, and I'm a half-hour member, and I provide communications for the.
Terry Short, formerly of Supervisor District 2, last meeting.
She made me happy.
Terry.
Adam Ruzia, District 4, on the executive board of the Marina Democrat Club.
Herbert Cortez, District 4, live in Marina.
David Woodard, President, Marina Democratic Club.
My name is Jen Wrigley, I live in Monterey, and I represent District 5.
My name is Ryan Maybar, potentially soon to be president of Canada Dems, Monterey.
In a matter of minutes.
What is it, sir?
Cannabis Democrats, it's a new club.
Represent.
Canada.
Yeah, you took right.
Why don't we jump back here and then jump around you?
Oh, David Kong, District 3, your development chair.
Wes White, Progressive Dems alternate.
I'm Maria Lejo, and I will be an alternate for Maria.
Good evening, Lucas Sanchez. I represent District 1, and I'm also on the school committee.
Good afternoon, Regina Gage. I am the president of the Democratic Women of Monterey County and also a representative from District 2, formerly Ms. Shorts.
My name is Patricia Coyd, and I represent District 1 of City of Salinas, or Monterey.
My name is Scott Dick. I'm the president of the Democratic Club of Monterey Peninsula. And since we filed semi-annually, our deadline for the FEC was July 31st.
So you were both right.
We were both right. We filed quarterly.
Ha!
I'm Elena Lewis and District 5 and also Vice Chair and currently looking for an alternate if anybody lives in District 5. Let me know.
Only Carlin, District 5, and I do it when I'm wrong.
That's a good quality.
Well, District 5, I don't know, forever. She's wrong, she never.
This is once.
Yeah, James Green, District 1 Salinas, and Secretary.
I'm Natara Dekoff. This is my first meeting here. I'm Alan's intern. Happy to be here.
Alan Hoffa, and I'm the representative for the Progressive Democratic Club, and I'm chair of the committee.
Good to see you.
Ron Cheshire, alternate 5th District, alternate Carl Colton.
Kim Snyder, Salinas, Democrat. And I was here for actually, this is all great, but I was actually here for voter registration training.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, so glad you're
I'm
here.
a day early.
A day early.
That's good.
I just
Better
stayed
late,
here
early than
overnight.
late.
Kim, what's your district? What's your board of supervisor district?
What?
Wait, Q.
It's Kimberly.
No, that's the city of
Oh,
Salinas.
all right. I don't know. All right.
Evan McCombs, PG, I'm Natalie Gray's alternate.
Hi, Evan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natalia Molina. This is just my second meeting, and I am from Seaside.
And I'm Alex Pitaro, I'm from Marina, and I'm Adam's alternate.
Steve Eckler from Salinas.
All right, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, so going to number 4, agenda item number 4, swearing in of new representatives.
So we have 3 things in this section. One is an interest form. You may have seen when you walked in a piece of paper. If you are not a member of this group already, look, you're already here, you're already interested in all things Democrat. Why don't you consider being an alternate or a member? Because from time to time, people step out of their roles or have to resign for various reasons. And we would like to have a bank of potential folks to fill in. Right now, we have like 4 or 5 people in that pipeline, but we now have a form that you can fill out. So they're at the table. Please take some home with you. I'll also send it to you electronically. So people in your clubs and in your neighborhoods, you can encourage them to become active members of the Democratic Central Committee. So that's number 1. Number 2 is good news, announcement. You heard last month that we have a new club brewing. And that club is ready to go, having completed their application, provided their roster, providing 20 signatures of eligible Democrats, and creating bylaws. And they are the Monterey Canada Dems, formerly the Monterey Cannabis Dems. And Ryan is here tonight, and so they passed vetting, and we have a new club, and we're ready to swear in Ryan and Dominic if he were here, but Dominic is not here right now. So those are, and anyone else who needs to be sworn in today. So I'll turn it over to the chair, how he would like to proceed.
So is there somebody from the Salinas Club that I need to swear in tonight or not?
No.
Okay, so we're all good. Okay, so we have to swear in Maria, and we have to swear in Ryan. Anybody else that believes they need to be sworn in tonight? Okay, then why don't you go ahead and just stand. Where's Ryan?
Ryan's over there next to Maria.
Okay, I'll come back to you too. Okay, so, excuse me, Michelle. If the two of you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name.
I, Maria.
I, Ryan Navar,
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to those constitutions.
that I will bear true faith
And allegiance.
and allegiance to the Constitution,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to those constitutions,
The bylaws of the Monterey County Democratic Central Committee,
the bylaws of the Monterey County Central Committee,
bylaws of the Monterey County Democratic Central Committee,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well faithfully discharge the duties
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter,
upon which I am about to enter,
upon which I am about to enter,
and during such time as I hold a position as a community.
and during, I'm sorry,
Okay, during such time
and during such
as I
time
hold this position.
as I hold this position.
and during such time as I hold this position as a committee member.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
So now you both, you're good to go. You can participate and vote tonight. There you go. Again, congratulations.
Okay,
I
cool.
forgot that I had business cards in my car, guys. So my
So we'll
business
send
cards
those
are
around. If you know how to contact Omar, maybe don't take one, but if you need to know how to contact him, go ahead and take one.
Bye, guys. Yeah.
Okay, and before we go on, I'd just like to welcome Ian Oglesby, who's here as a guest. Thank you, Ian. Okay, so going on to consent agenda. And actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the financial reports just because I really want to highlight. And I think we actually have some things to celebrate, but we also have some business to take care of there. But so we have the minutes, and we have reconfirmed bank account signers. So since we've had a change in our executive board, we need to change our bank account signers. Those are the two items. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Holly, seconded by Scott. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Okay, motion approves. So Jen, why don't you take us a little bit through where we're at with the financials?
Okay, great. Well, in June, for the second time this year, we actually brought in more money than we spent. So we made $1,619 more than we spent, which is great. And for the year-to-date period, we're only under about $400, so.
Okay, so from January through the end of June, we're $400.
Yes, and our balance at the end of June was, we still have $6,756.63 in the bank. So we did not go bankrupt.
Holly.
I have a question, I'm sorry to do this too. Yes, thank you. Approximately.
About half and half.
Okay.
So it is good news, and partly that was because of the Progressive Club fundraiser, and then also many of you have been making donations, and we really appreciate that. We've also been getting donations from groups that are using the Center for Change. We've gotten some donations from the DCMP, and we've also gotten donations from Indivisible and groups that are using it. So
Peninsula Pride.
I do want to emphasize, though, that although this is positive, we're still, basically just hanging on below. We do have a big fundraiser coming up in October, and we'll be talking more about that later during the development report. But, so good news, but we still have work to do. And then about the dues, you want to mention the dues?
So for those of you who have not paid your dues yet, and as a reminder, our due cycle starts in July. Now. Dues for regular members are $50 and for alternates $25. And I need your dues by so you still have to the August meeting to give me your dues to be a voting member of the committee. There's a question.
Yes.
Behind you.
Oh, okay. I have a question about donating online. So there's a wonderful click and pledge button on our great website, montereydems.org. So is there a way, if we do that, should we just send you an email that says, hey, I just donated $50 and I intended it for my dues, or how should we do that if people want to use their cards?
You can use click and pledge too on the website to pay your dues. Now just shoot me an email telling me that.
Or right now on their smartphone.
Or right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
If anybody wants to do that.
Okay, and if you happen to have your checkbook, or you want to add,
There's a question. Question?
Is the cycle for the year, so it's $50 a year?
It's just for members
For
of
the
the
year,
committee.
members, For elected members.
You could just.
Right, voting members.
but if you would like,
Yeah. It's a free show for everybody else.
This is the third meeting I've come to. I came to a Monterey County club, and I joined that for $25. I came to the Progressive Democrats, and I'm going to join it, but I haven't. But my $25, each group has their own dues.
Correct.
I can't keep track of it.
right, so basically,
Involved, I'm trying to understand what the.
so if you are a primary member of this committee, your dues July to July are $50. If you're an alternate, they're $25. If you're a member of a club, you can ask your club to pay that, if they've done fundraisers or something like that. Well, I don't want to get too far into the weeds right now.
Here's an organizational chart.
I just want to come and.
You said you're from Florida, I am looking for an alternate.
There you go.
It'll only cost you another $25. Yeah, we'll connect afterwards. Okay. Okay, so are there any other questions on the financials? All right, in that case, I would accept a motion to approve.
I second that.
I think I heard Carl and David second it. Any other comments? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we've got a couple of action items. So the first action item A has to do with arranging speakers for this meeting. And at our annual retreat, one of the things that we talked about was in order to kind of connect with local electeds, both so that we know what they're doing, and so we can also let them know if there are things we want them to do that they're not doing, or we're not happy with what they're doing. In any case, so that we can better connect with our local electeds, that we wanted to try to invite one to each meeting. And they would then, give a brief presentation and be available for questions from the committee between 6:30 and 7. So I have not done as good of a job of that as I would like to. I did arrange for the two chairs of the state party to come in and for Delaney Easton to come in, but I've not really been very good since then, and part of it is just I don't have the bandwidth. So one of the things the e-board talked about was maybe sharing that responsibility with clubs, which would actually give the clubs a way to engage and a voice, yeah. So what we're thinking is we'd like to ask the clubs to kind of pick a month that they would take responsibility for finding a local elected to come and present and be available for questions. So first of all, yes, David.
Water board, city council, supervisor.
Those would all be fine, yep. Are there any other?
Other things too, and it would go through the development committee. So David is the chair, and Jan has volunteered to be the liaison for the speakers. So as a team, they will work on that. So if there's any question as to whether it's an appropriate speaker,
You could connect with them.
They'll take care of that. But whatever, get creative.
Especially if they're like they're breathing and they're live.
And they're engaging.
And, also local issues, like if somebody has a big issue, they want to come and address us.
Yeah.
So just a thought, you mentioned that possibly would bring people in if we weren't happy with them. I don't think inviting people to be a speaker to dress them down is like really going to be a good practice. I think if we want to do accountability with Democratic elected officials, we should probably have a legal process for that. I think we should also open it up to non-elected officials, like for instance, the executive director of the water board, Marina, gave a really interesting presentation on groundwater. That's something that I think a lot of people would be interested in. He's not necessarily a Democrat, not necessarily elected, but water is something we all care about. Or we could have somebody from like the housing authority come in, because housing is a good issue for Democrats to work around. So maybe don't limit it to Democrats, or don't limit it to, or don't limit it to Dems, and don't limit it to electeds.
I don't think that is an absolute thing, but it was the direction of our retreat to focus on local electeds, but if there's somebody else that your club thinks would really be of interest to the committee, then yes, and then basically you would share that with Jan and David, and they'll let you know if they think that kind of.
Probably the next meeting we'll pass around the sheet.
Well, no, we have it now,
Oh,
but
we
I'd like
okay,
to
great.
add to that, Adam, because one of the reasons why it makes sense for it to come through the development committee is because they can decide, do we want to keep this, prime real estate, do we want that for Dems only? And if you have a great idea for someone who's not, for a nonpartisan thing, perhaps they'll say, development should do a forum on this, we should have a special event on this, so they'll negotiate that, how that fits in to the bigger picture.
And nobody else wanted to do it, so.
Okay, so it is an action item, so I would just like to have a motion confirming that this is how we're going to proceed going forward. So the motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion so we can bring it for discussion.
Okay,
So what verbiage should I write down?
It's in the agenda,
Okay.
but Adam, go ahead.
You can just say motion made by.
We got so
Motion to approve.
some of the speakers that we've had, Eric Gottman, for instance, and Omar tonight, really talked a lot. And giving a half an hour of relatively short meeting to somebody who might be very overly verbose, might not be the best use of everyone's time. Like some of us may be very interested, others may be like, I just want to come here to get that part of business and go about my day. So I don't know about having it be at this meeting. Like, maybe it'd be cool if we had like a speaker series where people could go who weren't required to be here in order to maintain their seats. You know, so it'd be more of an optional thing. Just my 2 cents, I think that would be better.
It's supposed to be speaking and Q&A within that half hour. Some of our speakers have not honored that. They've talked for half an hour and for whatever reason, they weren't cut off. But it was supposed to be half an hour for speaking and Q&A. Yeah.
We'll need to have a timekeeping.
Yeah.
So you made the motion?
Yeah.
What was your name?
Adam.
Adam.
No, I'm just wondering if we're open for discussion.
Yep.
So if I understand this right, what's here, it says executive board recommends that the clubs adopt a month to provide a speaker. I don't think we can force the clubs to do that.
No,
We're
we
recommending
can't.
it.
That's what we're talking about right now, if they want to.
Yeah.
Then why do we need a motion to recommend something?
Because we're asking buy-in from the group. So the way this board is intending to operate is with buy-in and to increase the participation and power and authority of the members.
I
So
mean,
we can do it.
Technically, we
just do
don't
it.
need a motion, but I would like them.
We want buy-in.
So I think we have a motion from Adam. Was there a second?
I saw
Okay.
it.
Who did?
I did.
Tyler.
I have a
Will
comment.
Tyler, go ahead and speak, and then was there somebody over here? David?
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure if it necessarily needs to be an amendment to the motion or what, but I just wanted to clarify that maybe it would be better if we said at least one. So that way if they wanted to sign up for like 2 months, like maybe every 6 months, because I don't think there's enough clubs to fill all the 12 months.
Right.
So maybe at least one.
Fair enough.
The idea was that David and I would try to fill in if clubs don't come up.
Mostly we're giving you club members the opportunity to get involved in this way and to bring somebody to the committee's attention. Okay.
So do the other clubs have, like, if that's a good idea, you're on board, or?
Progressives are behind it. We're ready to adopt 2 months.
Maybe could we hear from some of the club reps how you feel about this? Yeah, would you?
Hi, well, because we already have a monthly luncheon where we have a program chair who's setting up these speakers, I mean, they're not necessarily elected officials. I'm not sure if our club would be willing to do that, frankly. And also, I can understand what you're saying, while it's always lovely to see Omar, some people do have a tendency to be verbose, and I wonder who's going to,
That's my role.
Alan, will you rise to the...
I will.
You're such a gentle, accommodating person. And I mean, so I understand what you're saying. I mean, you know, let me talk about it. So I just have some concern.
Okay, you don't have to sign up.
Okay. I mean, we want to participate, but is it going to be worthwhile for everyone to come?
Right. I mean, it's a different audience. So the events you're organizing are for your club members at large. This is the intent of this, which was part of our retreat, was to connect this committee with our elected officials. I mean, it really was that intent, to give us a kind of avenue back and forth to be able to communicate with them. The feeling that came out of the retreat was, you know, every year or two, whatever, we do endorsements. We endorse people, we help get them elected, and then we don't see them again. Yeah, and so the idea of this was that we establish a better connection where they can communicate with us, we can communicate with them.
Do you think that the elected officials, if they are indeed elected, would be willing to come here out of their time and take 10 minutes?
I'm absolutely
You got
sure.
10 minutes, or are they going to expect?
Yeah.
Well, as an elected official, yes. Before I was on this, and somebody said, hey, you want, I would have said, yeah, absolutely, so.
Well, I think it's a worthwhile endeavor to consider.
All right, Ted, briefly.
How about people running, is there a separate thing?
There's a separate thing for that, yeah. David?
I think it would be a good opportunity for the clubs, perhaps, to bring a speaker that may or may not be on the radar for everyone. That's an opportunity. So Adam's suggestion that not necessarily an elected be the focus. I guess, you know, it's the timing. As we go through going into an election cycle, there may be a clamor to come and speak, but we want to make sure that that's not part of the endorsement campaign, but it's more of an outreach by them to the community of what's going on, what they're thinking about. So there needs to be some kind of, having the supervisor come the week before the election.
That's why you'll be communicating with Jan and David. We trust their judgment.
Yeah, I would support it.
Any other, yes?
It sounds like a worthwhile endeavor. I think that there's a lot of place for having individuals who may not be elected like Ian to come in. We could talk in 10, 15 minutes about challenges for Seaside, and he's not necessarily in the city council anymore. I'll take it to the board. We meet on Thursday.
Okay. So what we're doing today is just validating this as a blue card.
Yeah, on behalf of the Salinas Valley Democrats, I think we would be interested in adopting one of the months. Again, it would be the same to try to take it back to our membership and see what month would work out.
Okay. Would be good. Yeah, please, Brian.
Yeah. What is your club name again, please?
The candidates.
There you go, the candidates.
It was our design originally to actually bring in elected officials going through the specific board of supervisors. So my other endeavors in life, I certainly actually have relationships with a lot of people, especially with staff. So our plan was after our first month, our plan is to meet on the fourth Thursday of the month from 7 to 9 p.m. We absolutely intend to bring in board of supervisors and city council members, and we intend to film it and release it as well. So they get about 15 minutes to make their pitch, and then there's 45 minutes of Q&A. Because honestly, I mean, I personally show up for the Q&A more than the actual 15 minutes you speak, because it just goes on forever. So, yeah, we're down, totally.
Thank you.
Ryan, make sure you reserve the space. If you intend to meet here, make
What
sure.
is the cost, by the way, for that?
Okay, I'm going to cut
sorry.
this off right now,
Just
so
make
you
sure you
two can
reserve.
talk about that. All right, so any other discussion on the?
Can I just make a suggestion, which is probably obvious to everybody, but it would seem to me that it would make sense for peninsula clubs to host their person when we're in Seaside, just to visit the person here at night. And you also know the electeds on this side, and that Salinas and other South County folk.
It depends where they're coming from. What if they're bringing someone from the Bay Area or another?
Well, yeah, but I mean, most likely you're familiar with your local folks, so that's what we're talking about, local. So like, it's not out of our.
The governor comes wherever he wants.
Okay, any other discussion on the item? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, it looks like, yeah, I'm sorry, we just voted on it. It's on this.
I mean,
Go ahead.
it's just, as far as organizing it, it might be good to just have a space where people can go like a Google Doc, so that somebody doesn't book try to confirm a date with an elected.
Okay, so again, I want to emphasize that your club needs to work with Jan and David. We're also sending around a sign up now, but if you want to go back to your club and identify a date and whatever later, that's fine too. And then you'll just want to communicate with David and Jan, okay? All right, thank you. The next item has to do with vacancies. So our bylaws basically empower the E-Board to be able to nominate people where there are vacancies, and then this committee validates or selects somebody else to fill those vacancies. So we do have some folks who have not been active members. We've been talking about this for a while. We are going to be looking at those and following the bylaws. I'm going to send a letter to folks who we haven't seen from in a while. I don't know that this is actually an action item.
So we have the authority to do it per the bylaws, but again, we're looking to be transparent in our practices, that it's not personal. It was one of the things we said, all of us on the E-Board as candidates said we were going to do. We did not do it as of January 1st, and now it's been 6 months, we still haven't done it. So as long as it's really clear on the record that we've given nearly a year's notice that we're going to do this, and it's not personal.
I don't think we actually need a motion on that.
We don't.
Any questions or comments though? Yeah, Polly.
Yeah, are you talking about primary or alternate?
Primary.
Primary. So are you saying that anybody who's going to be nominated for a primary will come from you guys and they can't do it on the floor the night?
You can always
Okay.
make alternative
I just-
nominations, but the E-board would bring a recommendation.
Okay.
And we're going to
I just
vet-
want to make sure that we're allowed to have somebody, nominate.
You can. We hope to have in the wings people who are vetted, who gone through the normal vetting process that we would do, be it a club or, the normal vetting process. And you get to vote, you get to say, because we already have five people who've expressed interest in this and have been coming to meetings periodically. And so
I have a concern that only people that you align with your politics will be nominated.
So this is the form, and in no way does it ask about their politics. It simply asks, are you a registered Democrat?
I know, but there's a way to know people's politics, what club they come from, and I'd like to know when somebody is nominated or you're putting their name forward, who else might have put their name forward? So I just feel like we might not get all the information on who wants to be in the position.
Well,
Great, we're gonna have actually a binder of all of the applications.
So we want to really be very transparent, just the way we did
Because
when we
I'm
had.
just a little concerned that if you come to us and say, this is who we recommend, we don't know who else has stepped up or
Just-
put their name for that form.
Just as we did before when Timothy Barrett resigned, we will let people know in advance
Right.
that there is a vacancy,
Okay.
that they can put their name
Okay,
forward.
perfect.
And that's why we're doing this, so we'll literally have a binder so you can see
I
everybody.
want to see about the form of that, I want it in a meeting to know, when we come to vote for something, I want to
Who
know
they are.
who they are.
And who else?
And who else, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Elena?
So we now have a vacancy, it's basically been announced because Terry left, so everybody in this room who is in District 2, we now know. For instance, if you're an alternate currently for somebody in District 2, you might like to hold that seat. So I'll just say I replaced somebody, that's how I ended up on the central committee. And what I did, and I was told to do this, was I wrote a letter, at the time it was Jimmy Panetta, who was the person checking your credentials. And I explained to him what that I would love to hold this seat. I was currently an alternate. I gave him my resume, I probably went overboard. But anyway, if you're interested, who would one currently submit such an email or letter to? Would that be you, Karen, or you?
Credentials.
The head of the
Credentials Committee, I'm chair of credentials, but there are forms here tonight that you can take and you literally can fill out and you can send them to Alan, you can send them anywhere you want, any way you want. And I assure you that agreeing with my politics are zero, because there are people who moved out of district months ago, who were eligible for various reasons, but I made the determination to err on the side of fairness, even though politics were very far from my own. So I want to reassure you that transparency is tantamount.
Are you going
to
to
our
send that
task.
form electronically?
I
That'd be a
can't,
lot easier.
but there's
than
paper
pieces of paper.
here tonight.
David?
Just real quick, so if someone has perhaps a name of a person that they think might be interested, just contact the adult form. Right. Contact
Go ahead, Aaron.
We'll create a version of that. We'll make sure all the we'll have a version of that on the website. I'll create an electronic version, so any of us can go if we have a nomination, if the person has interest, they can submit things, and I'll create it, which they can submit. Perfect. If they want to also, and that way we have a little database of it. So it'll be electronic and accessible and like.
Hey, Aaron, thank you.
Any other comments or questions on this? Okay, then going on to item 7A, summertime mixer. Can I take that? Is Ron
I
allowed to
do.
take that?
Ron, oh, where's Ron?
He's right over here.
Ron, do you want to tell them what frivolity and deliciousness will occur at your house on August 13th?
Not really.
Deliciousness.
So we have a lot of events. So Ron,
What did you expect?
so we have a lot of events where where really smart, wonderful public servants make really long speeches. This is not what this event will be. On August 13th at Ron's Place, we're gonna have cold drinks, excellent food, wonderful company. It is a fundraiser. No one will be turned away though. Come, we hope you'll give 25 bucks or 30 bucks or 40 bucks or 100 bucks, but just come. And it's 3 to 5 on Sunday the 13th. A lot of you know where Ron lives, but technically the address will be given with the RSVP so we know how much meat to buy for him to barbecue. And there won't be a parade of electives giving speeches. This is about us, getting to know one another, getting to know what our political views are, so that we can come to trust one another and respect one another and connect with one another. The end.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, let me say something.
Scott.
I have dyslexia because on the 7B, it says 8:31, so it's the 13th.
We're talking about the mixer, which is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. I do have dyslexia.
That's
I just
okay.
didn't know that.
Ron?
There was a time when Democrats used to get together and, just enjoy one another's company and such. There may be a small speech by someone, but there's usually, what we used to do was just get together and have a good time with one another, as Karen said. And from what I see here, everybody sitting in the room, there are a lot of new people that are participating in the party and the organization and such. And they need to come together with some of the older folks. And it's my hope that we can get Dems that are not really elected officials or sitting here on the committee and such, but good Democratic supporters that support the Democratic Party. That's what we used to have. It's sort of gone away, but we need to bring it back. So, looking forward to everybody showing up, and we'll have a good time, I'm sure.
So will we have an electronic invite that we can then share with
Yes.
our friends,
After-
our fellow Democrats?
Right, after tonight, we will have this flyer provided to you, and our communications person will have everything she needs to do the wonderful things that she and Emmeline are capable of doing, and we'll figure out how it works. I'm kind of old school. I like to get the money and the cash without the 3% or 5% donation. However, I trust our financial team in their wisdom. If it's best to go through the click and pledge, we'll take their advice. But yeah, we just want people to come and hang out and get to know one another and make some money. But the money, come. If you can come and you don't have 25 bucks, I will ask you to give something though, even if it's $1. Just give something to see what you can give.
Fair enough.
I would like to say from my own experience, Ron is a very good cook.
It'll be a great time to bring someone new also.
Well, I've got it on my calendar and looking forward to it. I really appreciate your willingness to do this. Thank you.
Or the address is on there, right?
The address is not on there because I want you to RSVP. That's the carrot, my little buddies.
Okay, anything else on this item? I don't see any, so going on to Monterey County Fair. Elena, do you want to sort of just walk us through where we're at?
I did, Jan and I did the same thing. We both had great intentions and printed things and then left it in the printer. So I had to create a really ugly form. There is an online version which I'll send everybody to, maybe I'll try and do it tonight. And so you can sign up on the online version, but if you want first dibs at signing up to work at the fair, basically what you would be doing is registering voters and talking to folks and possibly depending on Republicans, we never know. But it's actually a lot of fun. You get into the fair that day for free. You do have to pay for parking. And so then you can come early and use your fair pass to hang out at the fair, or you can stay late. yeah, you'll get your picture taken with the Obamas, for sure. So what I did is I put the Wednesday, I would probably need like 2 helpers to set up. Holly and my husband and I have done it for the past couple of years, but he's, I can use his truck but not his feet this year. So we need at least, one kind of muscly person, male or female. And
Who can climb a ladder.
Who can climb a der, yeah, and not afraid of heights. And the time we could organize that, like once the 3 people who want to do that, if Holly and me, we can do it after work or we can do it earlier. Then the rest of the week, it's 3 shifts, 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9. And 2 of the clubs have already stepped forward. The women are taking 2 of the shifts on Friday, September 1st. And then Holly already filled in one of the slots for noon. And then the progressives, but I don't have names, so that's why there's still space. The progressives have taken Saturday, but even though there's only 2 slots, we can always use a 3rd person. So if you're available and it looks like it's full, just let us know. And then the rest of the time is blank. Then the same with teardown on Tuesday, September 5th. We can use my truck, and then I just need 1 or 2 people, and we can arrange the time. So that the setting up and the tearing down, the timing can be fairly flexible. So I'll pass this around and asking for your name legible and email legible, and then I will send the official sign up, because then we actually do need it on that sign up sheet so that other people don't take the ship that you want. So watch for that email with the link.
Okay, but if they can sign up like on this piece of paper.
Yeah, but I don't have
if they
names.
want.
Okay.
Oh, Lena, we can sign up on this sheet of paper.
Yeah, right.
If we're not.
Yes, yes, and then you'll send me your email, so then I'll send you the link. So the good thing about the link is it reminds you, it's an online sign-up thing that Christine, our volunteer, has set up. And she sends reminders a day before or 2 before your shift. And then if I can just make a plug for one other thing related to that, which is tomorrow from from 6:30 to 8, the organization Swing Left is doing voter registration training, and I asked if we could join them, and she said yes. And so if you want to work at fair but you've never done voter registration, I think encourage you to go to that training. We'll probably try and schedule another one before the fair, probably here. And that's actually, the voter registration is here tomorrow night, 6:30 to 8, hosted by Swing Left, which is essentially an organization that's going to try and get Jeff Denham.
Okay, any questions on this voter registration training or on the fair? Yes, I'm sorry, Carl first.
I think in the past, I think, you could park up at the Nomad Center and shovel down the bus. Is that true?
I'm not sure. It's either it's there or NBC. They haven't sent out the details yet, but you still pay them. They've added that. It's like $5.
That's where we're going, Alan?
That's perfect. That's wonderful. Okay, Ted, go ahead.
I kind of lost in the directions. If you want to sign up, but you're not sure, you can't do it right at the moment, how do you sign up?
Well, if we have your email, I'll email you with the link, and then you can sign up later.
So Ted, when you
sign
leave,
up online.
put your email on one of those sign-in sheets out there with your, and then you could say fair question mark.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thank you. Bending the arc. That would be David. It's on the agenda here, so I mean.
It's like information.
May as well.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, why don't we first just start with bending the arc?
Okay.
Part of that.
And the flyer, and I have the flyers actually, so that's what
Yes. Beers.
So, that way.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so, you have the flyer, thank you for Aaron for doing that. So, we have the flyer. I went to the place where we're gonna have dinner. We walked them through the room and we checked everything out. We talked to the lady there. Everything's set. I also double checked, make sure Jimmy's gonna could do it that night. That's on, so everything's on for the night. You're welcome to take these, tell everybody about it. And we should be able, I guess you can collect the money now, but not online, but you can do it like.
So it is on the website, it's also on our Facebook page, people can indicate interest so they can RSVP. The issue is just tracking down access to our click and pledge to create the page we have in the past and having a little trouble tracking down the access.
Do you know, can you create the page if we can get you into click and pledge?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you get my email yesterday?
So we can talk about this offline.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yes, as soon as I have that.
Okay, great. You
Immediately get me.
can set up so to push the button
I'm
today.
sure that I can.
Okay, let me do this, since we're talking about this area, so, let's see, okay, Alan was working on a letter to send, so we're planning to, send a letter thanking the people the last couple of years that showed up for the event, thanking them, letting them know about this year's event, and encouraging them to be at the dinner. Also, I guess we started talking about, we're trying to collect items for a silent auction, so if you have something you want to get rid of that might be worth something to someone else, talk to us, and we're going to start that little collection.
Question.
Yeah.
On a silent auction, are you going, so the last 2 years we just did a live auction.
Yeah, that's
with like six items.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go back to silent auctions?
Well, I think that we'll do probably what we did last couple of years. We'll have the items in the table in the back, which people can look at it.
What are your thoughts on that? Why did you guys change?
Because the silent auction is a lot of work.
It doesn't raise as much.
It doesn't raise that much, so it's easier to do 6 bigger items.
Sure, that's right, that's what we're fighting for.
And then to do the silent is brutal. I've done that, I've been there, I won't touch it again. And even the women, Regina's left, even the women's club moved from the silent auction to just a live auction.
Sure, that's fine, that's
Yeah,
what we'll talk about too.
fewer items, but higher dollar, or you can package them too.
Right, that's what I was thinking about collecting.
And the MC can shame people.
Yes.
So, then a couple of things, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, an alcohol package goes over very well.
Yes.
And so you have people to donate bottles of
Right,
wine.
bottles of
You-
wine.
You've got 20, 30 bottles of wine.
Exactly.
And there you go.
That's what I'm telling you, start doing that.
Yeah.
So, couple of things. So if you have something that you think would be a good auction item, contact David. Or if you work for a business or have a business that you think there might be something that would be a good donation for that, please contact David. And also, if you can distribute the email or electronic invite to your Democratic network, that's a way that we can increase our reach. I know 20 or 30 people. Some of our contacts overlap, but collectively we know several thousand Democrats. And an invite coming from you to them might be more meaningful than just getting the email blast that Aaron sends out to all of the registered Democrats.
And I have extra of these flyers, so please.
Yeah, or calling people that you think might be interested. It's really important that we have a good showing for this. This is critical for our financial security and well-being as a committee going forward into the next year.
It's great to see you on social
I
media
have a
already.
question.
Okay.
I brought this up at the Progressive Democrat meeting. Would it be possible to arrange something like this, or then arrange that some of us can afford?
Okay, so
I'm not rich.
No, no.
Sorry, can't hear the question?
So the question was, the question.
I'm a Democrat because I'm not rich.
Yeah, I hear your question. So the question is, this is an expensive event,
Yeah.
and it is. So that's part of the reason why, for example, we have the barbecue coming up, which is a much more affordable.
Is Jimmy Panetta gonna come and talk to us?
He may, you never know, but I can guarantee you the chair of the Central Committee will be there. And probably will be other elected officials there. And so we will do our best, and we hear you.
When you talk about inviting other people, I don't know very many people that can.
Well, one of the things I'm going to try to do, we did this for the Labor Council, we tried to get sponsors to buy a table, and then they'll say, hey, we're not gonna be there, but if you find some needy people that wanna go, that kind of thing. So if you wanna go, and we'll find a way for you somehow.
And think about sponsors, they don't have to be individuals. It could be a law firm, it could be a healthcare provider, it could be a business. It doesn't have to be an individual.
When I was a Boy Scout,
Wes, do you want
I went around companies.
I'm sorry, Dad, I gotta pick up. Ryan?
Yeah, I know this may sound a little absurd, but a lot of what I do is actually list building. Why don't we just straight up buy the actual list of all the Democrats registered in Monterey County, and then I just send a mailer, or?
We do.
It's already on your list.
So what system are you using currently to contact them?
We have constant contact right now, and we have about, with all of this combined, we have 25,000 people on the list.
Okay.
And we will be
And you're gonna send that out through this as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you're not already on there, you should probably sign up. And save the date's already gone out in the bottom of the email, it was prior to the flyer being completed and the sign up form. But as soon as we can get into our compliance system, there'll be an online sign up, we're good to go. But please share it out on Facebook if you want to now, because it's a great way to get people kind of paying attention to it.
What's the actual budget for events?
Right, make an event.
We have 14,000 on the annual budget for all fundraising expenses.
14,000 annually, but how much can you allocate for this specific event?
So that's
That's
already
up to
been on
David.
our budgeting, so I would say
It's up to David.
something to look at. That budget was already approved in minutes.
David?
Oh yeah, so one more thing, there was one more thing that, so we have everything all in place, except for we did not have a person we were planning to honor. We usually have a person we honor every year. And so, James and I and a few other people, we wanted to honor this year Carl Paul.
Yes.
October 20th, so don't go.
Don't go, so, yeah.
I was wondering if my wife was going to come.
Well, I'm not sure how to come.
Yeah, it's a post.
Hey, David, do you have
Scott?
do you have a price per plate yet?
Yes, it's
125.
No, I mean from the high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was it about?
$40, 40 something.
48 of,
We did that at the garden and it was expensive and we went down in price and we didn't make that much money. It was a lot of work for a couple grand, so having the 125 is probably lots of money.
I mean, that's the, so again, so, I mean, we certainly are sympathetic. I don't think any of us here are rich. But the thing is, you know, if you are.
And to our defense,
let me just finish. So the thing is, it is expensive. You're paying for the room. They charge you outrageous amounts. It's just how it is. But it is, it's something that we need to do to raise money. And so the difference between $100, let's say, or $75 and $125, if you can afford it, it's not that much of a difference. If you can't afford it, it's a lot in either case.
You know, putting it in a nice venue like the Hyde is very expensive. I mean, look at AV. AV is like $800.
So I'd like to say something about that, Mr. Chair. May I?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we as Democrats have said is that we support union. We have 20% additional charge on this because it's a union venue. But what does that mean on the good side? It means that we're dealing with people who have been employees there for 25, 30, 40 years, homeowners, activists in the community because they have these good union jobs. So that adds an additional 20%. So we're trying to show diversity. And to be honest, there are some speakers and attendees for whom the volume of people or the venue makes a difference. So we're really trying to cover the gamut. We're not trying to be one or the other. We're trying to be the big tent party, just as we claim to be and as we actually are, and have our fundraisers reflect that.
But you should also now be able to bring in more union money as sponsors.
Well, that will be wonderful. Right now, we'll hear from David later if he's secured. We're talking about having the executive board meet at the Labor Council. We were grateful to see Labor Council at the Regional 7 meeting. So whatever has happened in the past, it looks like we're moving forward with Labor, and we certainly will be reaching out to them for some sponsorships and attendees.
So that's, I was gonna ask if there was a plan to reach out to Labor, since, I mean, it seems like Tyler's on some union thing. I mean, there's several folks here that send, yeah.
We're labor.
Sorry, that are labor, that could maybe reach out.
Yes.
I need to sit behind it.
I would just like to say one thing about.
We don't need it anymore.
Remember the last time we went out to dinner, particularly with some friends? How close did that come to $125? You know, you can hardly go to McDonald's without spending.
Well, I don't want that.
I would go to
Wes?
Does Central Committee have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay, cool, make an event and I can share it.
It's already that.
Sweet,
Okay,
let me
sorry.
find it. All right.
It's on Twitter and it's.
Right on.
Adam?
I don't know how far into this event we are, but maybe what we should do is for future events, we should look at margins. How much money do we raise when you host a barbecue at Ron's house versus when we shell out big cash for an event? Forgive the example, but when George W. Bush was running for governor of Texas, he would invite all his dad's rich friends and stuff, and he'd serve hot dogs and popcorn, and they'd be like, George, what the fuck? Like, where's my lobster? And he'd be like, I have to win governor, I need your money, I don't need to spend all my money to get you here. And so he'd serve hot dogs and popcorn, and he, the Rangers or whatever, their sons would you get a ball game. But that's where he made most of his money. So maybe we should look at margins on our.
That's an idea, thank you. We are into this, we put money down, I put money down, so, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah.
I would just like to suggest that the people here who have some good ideas on this and other fundraising, I'm sure the development committee would love your discussion.
Yeah, I would love you to be able to help them. So
And there's a sign-up sheet on the front counter if you would like to join.
all right.
In a way, you answered part of the question. Even though I sound stingy, this isn't the $5,000 or $25,000 dinner that the Republicans seem to be able to.
Correct.
But I think it's important that somehow we come up with a communication device where we can say, okay, we're putting on a dinner where it's $125. But we have policies that also, I mean, you said the last time I went out and I paid $150 for dinner, I took 4 or 5 people in my family out. It's not just for one person. I don't go to $125 dinners because it's a big fit in my budget. And I think most of the people I talk to that I'd like to draw into the party see this and say, well, I don't know if I. Well, this is it. I'm just saying.
I hear your message.
Yeah, there should be a publicity thing, because I'm interested in doing outreach to the SEIU and the retired state employees.
And Ted, there's plans to have another barbecue in Salinas that is gonna cost nothing, so, all right, so. All right, anything else, that is really, yeah, Ron.
Mother always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Well, this doesn't quite fit in, but I want to put something to rest.
Okay.
Is I've heard several times about, the unions participating in this, that, or whatever. I went back and I looked. I'm CEO for the Monterey Santa Cruz Building Construction Trades Council. In the last 3 election cycles, the Trades Council and our affiliates have dwarfed what you guys have done. Dwarfed. We may not give money directly to the organization. It's one of the reasons why I'm here, is to hopefully bridge a little bit of a gap that was there and such. And we would like to give directly to the organization at times, but a lot of times we've noticed that it's just better to give to the candidate or assist the candidate. Labor does their part, I guarantee you. You may not see it here. It may not reflect on your bottom line, on your financial report, but we definitely do our part. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna move on, and I think we'll come back to development in a second. I just wanna see if there's anything else on finance report. Did we cover everything, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it is development. Was there any other development items you wanted to cover?
I talked to Dominic last couple days, but he is we didn't agree to give him some seed money for his event. I'm not sure exactly when it would be though. He had a day, I had a day, so sometime in August, yeah. So keep you informed on that.
And in general, what will it be?
Tell me a little bit about the event that we intend.
Oh, I guess the event was just to bring people together at Central Park. I think you got an idea.
In Salinas.
In Salinas, and then someone would have to, I guess, get there early, and then he would hot dogs and stuff. And then I guess he was trying to invite some speakers, I guess, to talk to the folks, and then perhaps do some voter registration and everything. There was no charge for it, but I guess we were trying to encourage him to have a donation jar.
So the intent of this is to do outreach to Democrats in the Salinas area, to make it a low-cost event, to speak to some of the concerns that we've heard, although to accept donations. The E-Board would appreciate if the event breaks even, but you know, we've allocated some money through the development team to do that. So you should be hearing more about the specific date shortly. James?
I was at the meeting too. Well, we're not necessarily going to have speakers, but what we want to do is have you people show up so that you can talk individually, mingle with the new people to kind of be a more personal one-on-one, as opposed to somebody standing up going, Democrats are wonderful! You know, if you have each of you out there. So when you hear about it, if you can come to Salinas that day, please do, you know. So, help recruit the next committee.
You don't have a date.
Not yet, no. You will, if you, again, gets,
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
yeah, you'll be here in a while.
He's right there. You have the date for the event?
What, small barbecue?
Yeah.
August 12th.
When did you come in?
But you have one on August 13th.
It's been changed, August 12th.
He was coaching Little League.
You have one the next day.
Yeah, still
Okay, there's lots of side talk going on here. Elena?
Well, I'm just gonna make a suggestion that unless the publicity's gone out, that you select a different date, because it's the day before the barbecue at Ron's, and if you want us to show up, you know, to two different events in one weekend, it's just,
It's a lot.
It's like asking a lot. We're a small group of folks. So I would just highly recommend that we spread them out, and that's my 2 cents. And then when we're done with that, Jan had a wonderful idea, and about another fundraiser that I would like to just mention and give you an update on.
Why don't you just do that now?
Okay, so Jan has a beautiful idea that, I don't know if those of you who know Ben Jealous, he's a local boy who's young man, adult person, amazing fellow, who is going to be running for the governor of Maryland. And so Jan had the beautiful idea that we host him and perhaps make it a fundraiser for both of us. I happened to run into his dad, Fred Jealous, and mentioned this idea, and he got all excited and already contacted Ben's campaign manager or somebody who's also in charge of finance. Because the trick is how you have an event in California that is raising funds for possibly, you know, half for us and half for Ben, or however that would work. So it's to be announced, but I think it's an exciting thing. And Fred suggested that we also might want to join hands with some other organizations that Ben has a connection with, the NAACP, NCBI, York School. I mean, he's got that, between that whole family, there's so many connections. So anyway, I don't have a date. I do have a name and a phone number of someone to contact. I thought after the first of the year, because we've got so many things coming up, and it would really give us a chance to prepare and not ask our folks to give money, you know, again.
Sounds good.
I would get in mind bringing in those other organizations as well. And,
Maybe planning for early in the new year,
we'll
or later.
see, everybody's coming.
Okay.
Have to work with his schedule.
Just for those who may not know it,
Janice, the former national chair of the National Association of Jazz and
He's from around here?
Yes, he
Yes, he
is.
is.
He grew up in Pacific Grove.
I didn't know that, I've seen
Right.
it many times on TV. I like it.
So I just want to add, because there's such great thinking around the table here and in this room, be aware the mechanism for doing this is the committees. The authority lies with committees. They have a huge budget and they can just run with it and they can come to us. The development, $14,000. The development committee for fundraising has a budget, and if you champion your ideas to them, they can make them happen. So you don't need our approval for that. They have the authority, and go for it.
Okay. All right. Anything else, David?
No, I think that's
Okay.
actually, I'm gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks, and I'm looking for someone to work with to make sure the invitations are sent out and all that, so if there was a volunteer afterward, yeah, talk to me afterward.
Issues, Phil?
Yeah, so there's a few things going on, some of them new, some of them old. The newest item is apparently, well, there's a request from Dominic that we endorse a resolution urging the California Department of Pesticide Regulation to ban the use of
Chlorpyrifos. Chlorpyrifos.
Okay. My understanding is that Region 7 has already endorsed that. Additionally, today, U.S. senators announced a move in the Senate to also ban, including Perez, co-sponsor.
So is your committee recommending we endorse this or not?
I would recommend, I haven't actually talked with the committee. Because we are so important from Region 7, we essentially.
We did, but I think we can endorse it as
We can
well.
also co-endorse it or recommend that.
So do you want to make a motion?
It's on page, I don't know what page
The
number.
last page or the next to last page of
It's in your packet.
But I might
The last page?
suggest that we amend it.
Next to last page.
Okay, how would you want to amend it?
Urge support of the Senate resolution.
Okay, so where would that go?
Because this is going to the e-board, this cannot support specific legislation. This can only affirm values. So this is why this has no mention of legislation. This is purely to urge the California State Democratic Party, to urge the California Department of Pesticide, as well as the California State Legislature to take this up. But we cannot specifically mention in a resolution at e-board any specific legislation in the resolution.
But Tyler can carry that to the ledge committee.
So it has been endorsed by Region 7, it is going to the E-Board. The question is, do we want, as a central committee, to add our endorsement to that?
I make a motion with that.
Okay, so David makes a motion, Patty seconds, Evan, right?
Yeah.
Evan.
No.
Who's in favor?
Natalie.
Oh, Natalie,
Great.
it's okay.
I just want to say real quick, I went on the bus trip last week, Sacramento, to and that's because I live in Newfield, and two of our schools in Newfield have the highest levels of that particular pesticide in the state. So it's like, it's happening right here now. It's not good stuff.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? All right, passes unanimously, yes.
Mr. Chair, I am intrigued by what the Chair of the Issues Committee has said about Kamala Harris and others. I would love to hear a report at our next meeting if it's still something that is in the works, in the pipeline, and to see if they recommend that we take any action next month on that
specific,
on that
on
Senate
that
matter.
specific legislation,
Yeah.
supporting her.
If we, I would suggest that if individually we're interested in, then we contact us.
But we can collectively endorse it the way we did SB 562, if you guys look into it. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, yes, sir.
I was responding to what the Director of Division 7 was saying about what is a Democrat. And I would say that we all individually know how we differ from the Republicans, and we are not Republicans. But the definition of a Democrat in terms of issues is not clear. So I think this is something the Issues Committee, I would recommend the Issues Committee make up a list of possible things that define a Democrat, to bring it to us so we can discuss it.
Well, actually, I would mention, we did,
At our retreat.
at a retreat, we did something about our values.
You know what though would be good? Go ahead.
If you look at the homepage of our website, it says right now, right, it says like 3 sentences that came out of our retreat, came out of early language, really simple terms.
And we as members should know that.
Well, which makes me think, I think in the future on our agenda, we could include that at the top.
So I agree that, I mean, it's there,
If we can include our value
part
statement.
of creating that, talking about being the party of people and what values we really have, putting people first. I think that's a really powerful thing, so if you haven't looked at it, it's really easy to get to it, just share. I mean, share it out, let other people know it, read it, and absorb themselves.
Probably if we have like a bumper sticker or something that says that, because people will see it and understand it better.
Well, that's an interesting idea, dude. I'm not sure if that's a development committee discussion or communications. Okay. So maybe development, if you guys think that's a good idea, you can offer a budget and our communications person can maybe develop
It'd be great to have that for the fair,
Interesting
because
idea.
then
the fair.
you can't sell them, but you can ask for a donation in exchange for it. Maybe also on a button.
Thing like that.
So buttons and, what the heck do you call them, bumper stickers.
Anybody else need the fair sign up?
It's on both sides. too.
I think that'd be a great idea. I really think that's, Patty, I think that's a great idea. So, if we can do that. I'm sorry, sir, we got it. So, that's okay. Issues, Bill, okay, table talk. Folks, just to FYI, it's 8:15. I like to try to finish by 8:30, so y'all get home before 9. Bill?
Real quick, 2 old issues. One is campaign financials reform, which we endorsed for the supervisors. I haven't heard anything recently. I would like to run those contacts to find out more of the supervisors and the administrator, find out what's going on with them.
Should we agendize that next meeting?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
put that on the next agenda. The last one that's really been taking the most of my personal time is the CEP party elections, the chair elections, and then the CRC, the review commission. So I'm aware that there's 2 of us here tonight. All the evidence I can see of the issue.
So when they were finally done, they discounted your vote? Did they count it?
My vote is categorized as under review. And I have not heard final. So I have a bunch of issues with this proposal.
Okay, I think we should agendize this for a future item, and in the meantime, I will write the CRC and inquire, do we know, was there anybody else in our area whose votes were in question? I know Karen and Bill, was there anyone else? Yeah.
Mine was not only the review, but in the beginning, they got my name wrong. They kept saying that they corrected it, but they didn't, they got this all the way through. Up until the final, even the final posting of my vote, when they went to review.
Did they have any members in
questions.
Canada?
There were certain.
Is there anyone aware of anyone else whose vote is in question? Well, because they sent out an email.
They did not. I never received an email.
which is one of the issues that really needs to be on.
Okay, so I'm,
So can you send that link to everybody so they can check their vote?
okay, so, I mean,
I looked at
wait, this is a rabbit's hole, and it's something we really need to agendize for another meeting, but I will follow up myself with Kadam to try to figure out what happened with your votes, and if there's anybody else in our region and in Monterey County whose vote was in question. And then I think some of these other things we maybe need to talk about, and then maybe we want to send a message to communicate our concerns, okay? But I think we need to agendize them. All right, going back, Ron, did you have stuff something you want to say?
My understanding that 5th District Supervisor Mary Adams was chair of the Board of Supervisors. She made the referral in regards to the campaign contribution limits issue, and her staff is working on it. We had hoped to have a draft, and we had hoped to have some type of action, or at least movement at the Board of Supervisors in the month of July, but since today's 25th, that's not going to happen. They're off most of August, if not all of August, and it was my understanding that they would bring it up in September. We're a little concerned in regards to the fact that time is slipping by, and very soon supervisors will be announcing that they're running for office, and since money is the mother's milk of politics, they will feel less inclined to wean themselves from the situation, okay? So actually, inquiring from different directions would be good. I've already done it, probably to the point of annoyance.
Okay, thank you. I think we're gonna move on to communications. Is there anything else you need to share with us, Erin, or? Sorry.
I'd like to say thank you to Erin, who are not aware that we are getting the benefit of these high-level, high-quality professional skills as a volunteer. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Okay, any campaign? This might be a good time to just share some more.
Yeah. So we talked at the e-board meeting about kind of revving up the campaign committee, although the election is over a year away, and kind of with two prongs to it. One would be starting to look at recruiting people to run, and so that's needing ideas from folks. First we need to know what offices are currently available to run for, and then folks that are intending to run, we would then provide some training. And I'm thinking that a lot of us locally could help with that training, folks who've already run for office and won, someone like Kayla or Alan. And I know Tyler just attended a training that sounded like it was fabulous, and he might be willing to share some tips. And then we have folks who are from Emerge. Right, and then you're an Emerge graduate. I also got a phone call from somebody from Emerge who might be willing, I'm not sure if she'd be willing to come to training and do a training, but I think we have a lot. So my real question is, who isn't on the campaign committee, or you don't know if you're on the campaign committee, would like to join the campaign committee? Because the sooner we get this going, and I'd like to maybe meet just for 5 minutes if you're interested in doing that before we leave, and set up a committee meeting so we can really hash out, how we're going to proceed. Because those are big goals, and there's lots of steps along the way that we need to do. So if you're interested, please let me know.
Question.
I can't join the committee, but I'm happy to work with you on putting together getting a training.
We could join the committee.
I'm working very hard on being really.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking you weren't allowed.
I do also want to mention that there's a page on the website that's for folks who are interested in running for office and get involved. If somebody asks you about it, they can go there. There are included resources on. And there's also contacts. So
sign-up sheet, it's gonna go around if you're interested in that committee. And that reminded me, if people who aren't, I believe this is true, if you're not on the Senate committee and you're not an alternate, you can still be on a committee. So anybody who's here as a guest and would like to get a little more involved, I invite you to join the campaign committee to start with.
Yeah, Scott.
I don't mean to be mean.
Hold on, Scott has the floor.
I don't mean to be mean to Elena, but actually, the election cycle starts in December. With the Superior Court judges, they have to file in December. And right now, on the elections website, there's a 45-page PDF because they have rearranged the election schedule. So it's all a complete mess. So people running that didn't have to run before, now running in 2018, some have to run in 2020. It's everything from school board to Superior Court judges, all the way, Diane Feinstein's running, she's up in 18.
Yeah.
So we have the primary, which means they close in March. And then we go from there. So I can't join the committee, but I can send you the PDF.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay, perfect.
Maybe you want to be on the PDF too.
Sure.
Maybe that's something that could be useful.
I'll send it to her and then she can send it to you.
That sounds really efficient.
Okay, so actually, we're going to be going to club reports, but I just want to highlight, if you are interested in helping out with any of these development ideas, hang around and introduce yourself to David. If you are interested in helping out with recruiting candidates, training candidates, hang out and talk to Elena after the meeting, okay? The Women's Club, I don't see Regina, but yeah. Patty,
I'm
you got a
here
report?
to I'll say what she said, mentioned that Democrat Women's of Monterey County will, on August, what was it? Wednesday, August 16th, they will have a social event in Salinas from 5:30 to 7:30. And the second one, they will have a panel on immigration at Harnell College, which will be August 24th. And it will be a Thursday, it will be from 6:30 to 8:30. And the third event that they're having, their annual fundraiser, which will be Sunday, September 24th, from 1 to 4.
Okay, thank you so much, Patty.
What's the date on that courthouse, the social gathering at 5:30?
August 16th.
August 16th.
Okay, whatever, thank you.
So August 16th, Wednesday, I guess location to be determined other than it'll be somewhere in Salinas.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's at the courthouse. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a great venue.
P-O-U-R.
That's a great venue.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fabulous venue.
And then Thursday, August 24th, 6:30 at Hartnell, that's a panel on immigration. And then Sunday, September 24th, 1 to 4 is their fundraiser.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She said she'll email, so.
Okay. Marina, David?
I was hoping to make an announcement, but next month we decided.
Okay. Salinas Valley, it looks like Rupe's on, if somebody else make an announcement.
Salinas Valley, anybody?
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
Scott?
The DCNP had 2 events already this summer, and we did not have a meeting in July because everybody was traveling. So we meet on Thursday, and we'll have a chance. And it's open meeting.
Is it this Thursday?
Next Thursday.
Okay.
It's the first Thursday of the month. So the new August, I think it's the first or the second.
And that's at 6:30 also, or
7. We try to get everybody there at 6:30, 6:45.
And that's, what's that gonna be
No,
here?
it'll be here,
Got it.
unless the board changes it.
So that reminds me of something. If you would like to, and I know I can look this up, but if you would be so kind to make it easy for me, if you send me who to contact about information about your club, when you meet, I know it's on the website, but if you could just email it to me, we'll make a one-pager and that can go into every packet. And if you want to do a report, a printed report, it can be included as well. Right now, we just have the progressive Dems in here, but every club can have a page and it can go out in advance to everybody.
And then we don't have to all be trying to write down fast.
Because we want to participate, we want to grow the clubs.
Which
Okay,
club was his? I'm sorry.
that was the DCMP. So, Karen, Karen, if you could, or Wes, report on the, I was not at our last meeting, I was out of town. So.
Right, so Wes, if you have something you'd like to say, So because of the summer, like Scott said, you know, people were traveling, so I'm not an officer for the progressives. So what I bring to you is what Adam referred to earlier, and I have a handout here. On August 20th, we have an opportunity to partner with Labor in Salinas. It's called Working America. I'm going to send this around. There's a volunteer sheet on one side and details on the event on the other. If you're wondering, what can we do in this non-election year to get something done? Here we're being asked to flip Congressional District 10. It's just what Adam was talking about. And also as a goal here at the strategic planning, we said we wanted to grow and foster this relationship with labor. So the best way to do that is to show up when labor is asking for something of us. So the Progressive Democrats Club has pledged to turn out 5 people for this training on August 20th. We're going to have a training on how to have conversations with people and flip Senate District in Modesto for Denham. And then we're going to carpool at a date yet to be determined in September. We're going to have 5 of us carpool to Modesto to knock on doors and make phone calls. So I encourage you to do it. I encourage you to look at this. I encourage you to sign up. And when you do, name that you're a member of the Democratic Central Committee and you're doing it because the Democrats want to be allies with Labor. The end.
All right, thank you. Greenfield, anything more?
Well, there was stuff going on that I hadn't talked about.
Oh, now we're interested.
Well, what I can
That's
tell
okay.
you, what I can tell you is, there's a million rights training plan on Friday of this week at 6 o'clock in Greenfield at Civic Center. And so people are quietly telling, I mean, it's kind of spread like word of mouth and very quietly, because there's some sort of rumor going out that there's going to be an ice rink that night. So it's like, we're still going to have it, but there's a rumor word. So we were telling people, it's like a sanctuary place or something, so if you go there, you have to.
So what day is that?
All right.
The Friday the 28th.
What other announcements?
Greenfield, that's 6 o'clock.
Selena?
I mentioned that Swing Left is doing a training here tomorrow, 6:30 to 8, for voter registration training. But Swing Left is also hosting a similar thing to what Karen was talking about. This Saturday, 1 to 4 here also on working to flip these, I think District 10, but I think they may have their sights on another district that's close by. So it's just another avenue for, you know, getting elections going.
Great.
Okay, folks, this concludes our meeting. Oh, Eric, did you want to say something?
I found like a quick record, but we've been bringing a lot of events tonight, and while some of them are not yet on our calendar, a lot of them, if you go to the calendar on our website, there's an article on the calendar. There are also links to 2 others. One tells you when the C4C is reserved, and the other tells you about a lot of community events that may not be run by the Democrats, but you may be interested. So, you know, if you're looking for something to do, because we don't have lots of free time, you can go there for those that are on the same.
Quickly?
Candidates will be added to the agenda next.
You better believe
Yes,
it. Thank
They
you.
will.
Canada.
All right.
Do they want to
So-
report tonight?
No. So, first of all, thank you all. Our next e-board meeting will be here on August 16th, and our next central committee meeting will be in Salinas at the Teamsters Union on August 22nd. And I hope to see you all. And if you have any agenda items that come up between now and then, let me know before the e-board meeting. Okay? All right, thank you, folks.